Hey, it's your girl, London Delicious Charles, and we are here over at Mind Over Matter. And I guess we're just gonna dive right in.
This is Ashwin Gane, and this is the Mind Over Matter here in Atlanta, and I have a very special guest here with me today. We all know who she is, Deelishis.
Hey,
So what's... I'm doing good, Ali.
what up, Doc?
Oh, yeah.
It's so Detroit. How are you?
I'm doing good. Even though it's what, 9?
I know.
See, that's what people don't know. They don't know, like, when you do these podcasts, like, it's not always...
At the top of the bird.
Yeah, at the top of the morning. I'm now more of a morning guy myself.
I am too. So what do you do to start your morning, Doc?
Well, I wake up at 8 a.m. I wake up the king like this. I don't want to say I'm an old man, but like this is my routine.
Yeah.
This is how I perform at peak optimal efficiency. Like,
I agree. Yeah.
is you wake up at 12 and now you're groggy and you're...
And the day is done.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to get up at 6 a.m. I have to get my daughter off to school at 6:30. Then it's straight to the gym, which gets me going. Right, goes to the gym. It's just like I said, it's optimal. The energy, the way I feel, the endorphins. Early start is always like a better start for me.
So what time do you go to sleep?
Okay, that was bad because getting up at 6 a.m. and going to bed at midnight is
Okay, that's
not the best.
rough.
It is rough, but you know what? To get those 6 hours is better than I have been doing in a long time. I used to deal with a lot of insomnia where I would get maybe 2 to 3 hours of sleep. So now having 6 hours, it feels a little bit better.
See, I'm like I need my 8 hours. If I don't get 8 at least I just don't function.
What's your reaction? Are you cranky?
Yeah, cranky.
Yeah.
I just like I'm staying in my world because I know I'm cranky, so I
Right.
can't speak to anyone because I'm just in spirit right now because I'm not in a good mood.
Are you introverted?
Yeah, I'm introverted. I don't know if you've heard of Myers-Briggs. And
What does that mean?
it's like it's like kind of like a test, like a personality archetype. So I'm a INTJ, so introverted
Yeah.
is first letter I.
Okay. I think I'm like that now. I mean, I think over time I just became that way. Before I was blossoming into people person. And I think as I got older and things I wanted changed, then became different when it came to being social.
I have a theory on that. You can tell me if I'm wrong or not because I don't know. Obviously, I'm not used to it. I don't know. I think you got tired of certain people.
Yes. But it feels mean to say it that way.
No, well, that's why I'm here. I'm here.
I love that.
Hey, you're gonna say, well, he said.
Right. I was like, he said it, and I just agreed. That breaks. Well, I mean, I guess a combination of things, but that definitely played a role in how I became a less sociable person. But I think if I'm around my crowd or the right crowd, that is easier to relax.
Yeah, so I think you're just being more selective about where you're spending your energy.
Yeah. And that's important. I think
Because I'm really a lazy man. I was like,
you.
yeah, I mean that in a way like, not I like to be efficient, not lazy. So okay, well, I'm not gonna street right now. It's gonna take up my energy, so I'm gonna save up my energy for when I need my energy.
So
Right now, I'm gonna sit back and see what's happening.
you're working smarter
Yeah,
rather than harsher.
yeah, that's always my post.
I like that. How old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
No, I always like to see what people have to say. Take your guts.
Okay. Well, see, you look very young, but from this, not just the sound of your voice, but you're very articulate. You seem experienced and wise, so that gives you a little bit of age. So I say 24.
Gotta go.
26.
Gotta go up a little more.
This is getting a little sexy. You older? 28?
28.
Oh my God. Okay, wait a minute. You ain't so off London. Oh, no. Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, 28. But sometimes I still go to the airport and then they think I'm mine.
Yes, you look so good. Okay, so what's the secret? I'm a girl and I'm taking care of myself, so
Oh, my diet.
What's your diet?
So, my parents are from South India. So a lot of, well, especially my mother, she's from the coastal region of South India. So a lot of seafood, a lot omega-3s.
That's my favorite. So that's good.
Yeah.
For the skin, for the body, what is that really good for?
Yeah, omega-3s are good for your brain, they're good for your skin.
Oh.
It's, it's every immune system, everything, really. But also one of my secrets is coconut oil from the hair.
Coconut oil.
Yeah.
Okay, I wish somebody would tell me that back when I had hair. But I remember that because it is a growth process. But coconut oil is doing it for you. It looks good.
Yeah, and don't wash your hair all the time because, the shampoos they have very harsh chemicals. So you need to preserve your natural hair oils.
Okay. Now, I've heard that before. It's crazy how back in the day when I was growing up, it was a thing to wash your hair because you wanted to get the oil out. But the oil is actually, our natural oils is what we need to help to reproduce. Is that what it is? The follicles?
This protects them, keeps them healthy, young.
Okay.
Except because, they dry up. Yeah.
That makes a whole lot of sense. Why weren't we using common sense back in the day? Where was Ashwin?
Well, there's a whole psyop by the, whole beauty industry to put that idea that people sets.
Right.
Because, they had a crazy demand for their products, so they had to tell you this is how you do it.
Which I get that part. That does make sense. And of course we fell for it and our hair fell out because of it. But now I'm on my natural. Obviously I wear units when I need to, especially the best brand. But underneath I do want to take care of my hair. So I am using less products on my shelves and letting you do his natural thing.
So when do you start, I guess, this more natural first?
Well, when I'm not shooting or filming, I'm at home and the wig comes off, the makeup comes off, I'm in my natural state, which is still attractive. It's just the masses wants to see the glamour. But when I'm away from the camera, then I'm in my natural state.
That makes sense. But, obviously I don't have to wear makeup for my job, But, so that also plays a role in this, makeup.
So it's less,
Sports.
yeah, so you have less toxins that you have to deal with. I'm glad you're talking about that. Most men don't really care about it, but it's a lot that goes into now for women. And for us to, to keep up our looks, we want you guys to be happy when you see us. Plus, we like looking good too. But you're right, it is a lot. It's taxing on the skin and on the hair. But I think a lot of people are trying to switch over to natural.
Yeah, I think there is a natural beauty movement going on.
Yeah.
Or at least, I have makeup on, but it looks like I'm not wearing makeup. That's what I shot right now.
That's the thing. What do you think about that, across?
Well, I think this is gonna sound kind of. This is how I feel. This is how I really.
Okay.
I don't have. I mean, makeup is. There's pros and cons. The cons is we expect a woman to wear makeup. That's probably it's not very fair.
No.
But the pro is also can make you look better.
Yeah.
And men don't necessarily have that. I mean, they don't want to deal with it, so they have that going for.
Right.
But so I guess I feel like it's more fair. It's like more even playing field. That makes sense.
So you don't mind if the woman you're seeing wears makeup? Or you prefer it or natural?
I prefer natural.
Oh, that's nice.
And now I know you really are.
Okay. Okay, that works. That's pretty cool. So then that's the next question. I'm sure everyone wants to know, the ladies especially. Are you dating?
I'm not dating right now.
No, you're serious. Okay, please do explain that. At 28, looking at what you do is successful and hardworking as you are, what is your reason for not dating?
Oh, wow, we're deep here now.
I'm sorry.
No, that's I mean, right now it's just most of my time is spent on all my creative endeavors, and then I go to sleep, and then I wake up, and then I do the same thing, and I go to sleep, and so
That's a lot of dedication.
yeah, so it's just not really my priority right now.
Okay, that's cool. But do you ever see yourself like, okay, I'm gonna take some time up to get to know a young lady?
I mean, I think I get some things done first before I do that. I'm like,
You are so focused. I love this. Oh my goodness. How did you get so dedicated?
I've always had big dreams even as a kid. So, until I get there, I'm just not be satisfied. Like I'll put it into perspective. When I was a kid, I wanted to be my theme park, and I'm still working on that.
What made you want to do that?
It's about so my whole thing is I don't know. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Walt Disney, right?
Yeah.
So like Walt Disney had his Imagineers. His Imagineers, their whole thing is how do we take our imagination and bring it to life? Because art is important because it's a way of creating accurate reality.
Yeah.
Because we live in reality, so art is about doing things that are not possible.
Right.
So that's why it's so important for me to create a theme park so people can go have an experience they can't experience in their own lives.
Right. I like that. And what was your theme, Gandhi?
Well, I have several ideas. I'm a multi-world builder is how I describe myself. I describe myself as a world builder more than a recording artist.
A world builder. What's your sign?
Libra.
Okay. That's pretty dope. So you're pretty balanced.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're too balanced. Like people, why aren't you getting upset right now?
Do you ever get upset?
Oh, I'm kind of like always kind of upset.
What take a minute? Why?
Yeah. Well, I'm just good keeping it cool because, like, I'm just not like, why are you doing this? Like, this is kind of dumb.
Right.
I want to call you out, but I'm not going to call you out.
Right. So do you have like a short fuse for ignorance?
No, I just accept that a lot of people are going to be like that. So, but I'm still annoyed, but
I'm not sorry.
yeah.
What annoys you?
There's multiple levels to what annoys me, but you could really go deep into the philosophy of it. Like, number one is I think people are very self-centered.
Yeah.
So I get annoyed by that. Like, how can you be so arrogant?
Right.
Like, you think the universe is not revolved
Around you.
So I think that whole way of thinking just infuriates me.
That
Roughly,
Okay, who raised you? I love the way you're dedicated, your common sense, and your sense of self-responsibility and discipline. And then you find it offensive when people are self-centered.
Yeah. Not offensive. It's like, this is
Ignorant.
it's ignorant.
Right.
And this leads to so many problems in human history. Like,
Right.
Like how many monarchs have destroyed the lives of so many people because of their way of thinking.
Right.
But we could live in peace, but we choose not to live in peace. So and that's why I say I'm always upset.
Because of the entitlement that they say.
Yeah. Obviously evil is going to exist forever, but I'm always kind of upset about that. So that's what I mean by I'm upset. It's not like it's not like I have a temper tantrum. Like, I ordered a 4-piece meal, but you only gave me 3. I'm gonna go jump over the counter and attack you. I don't do that.
Not my right. So how did you grow up? I'm very interested because I'm familiar with your music, and I'm a fan, by the way. And it has like an urban feel, a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of neo soul. You're pretty talented.
Oh, thank you.
And not to be stereotypical, but I could look at you and say, okay, you are a beautiful Indian man. I wouldn't expect you to have that type of swag, so to speak. Where did that come from?
Damn right. A lot of it is like honing my craft.
Okay.
Like, when I first got into music, hip hop was the zeitgeist. Hip hop is still the zeitgeist. So I'm like, if I want to reach people, you gotta make hip hop. And I always like.
Where you at?
Oh yeah.
Okay, shout out to hip hop.
It's mainstream genre.
It is.
They were very powerful. Oh, by the way, fun fact: we were right now you're in Atlanta, but we're both Detroit.
What up, Doc?
So that's a fun fact. And not to go. I'll get delayed, but since you asked, I do want to answer your question. When I first started, I probably didn't add all the swagger on mic.
Okay.
I haven't, like, my voice just has its natural resonant quality to it.
Yes.
That was always there. So I guess what I found is how do I take my speaking voice and translate across multiple octaves and deliveries. That's what I'm learning how to do.
Oh.
So I think I had, if you mean swagger like that, that was always there.
So that was natural for you.
Yeah.
It's just something that you were made with. You had that gift.
No, I didn't really realize how much of a gift it was. I was copying other people. Like I was doing the Travis Scott impression more.
Okay.
Maybe I was doing the white guy impression. Like, seriously, that's not what's me. I'm gonna do a white guy. I'm not even good.
You were just having fun.
No, it was like I was really, because I was not come by it. I didn't even know what I had,
Okay.
and I didn't know how to use my voice.
Okay.
So all I knew was
You were creating an identity.
yeah.
Okay.
So that was going on for 5 years. And I feel like I've only just now I found myself. Like even put that like I was doing last year, so I have a song I did this year. It's gonna be coming out next year. It's called D&D.
Okay.
I feel like I finally found my sound as a vocalist.
Yep.
So now my sound is my fault.
You're so vulnerable for even saying that because you said it took 5 years, and some people are like, wow, that's a long time. But there are artists who have been in the business for over a decade or so and still have not like just, honed their craft and found like, this is my sound. Like, when you think of someone as great as Michael Jackson, for example, his sound was his sound. And it seemed at some point he knew, or at the beginning that he knew. So to go through that time of finding this sound, who were you mimicking? I know you said a white man, but who was the artist that you said, okay, this sounds good, let me try this?
Yeah, and part of this, like you work with these A&Rs. I don't work with them anymore, but
Right. Trying to fit in there.
shout out to the A&Rs, but
Right.
and right here, but bro, shout out to all the pair. I don't even know that.
So what do you mean?
Well, anyways, what these, I was on top of it, but what these A&Rs do is they're not creative people, so they, so I work with song players every now and then, right? Quite a bit. They write it down.
Okay.
I'm working with the A&R. You got to do like the demos.
Yes.
Like, what do you mean I do it?
Finish that.
That doesn't make any sense. I sound like me. Why
Yes.
would I do it like them?
Because they're married to the demo rather than seeing your creativity and how you actually will bring that to life and it would fit you. So, because you got to perform it and you got to believe that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not even that. It's like, that's the emotional side to it. And then there's also this the technicalities of it and the practical common sense. Like,
Right.
our voice, I don't even sound good doing that.
Right. That's not for me.
Yeah. That is outside of my range, my friend.
Right.
Or like when I first met you, you told me you like, man, you got a deep voice, man.
Yeah.
I use that. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh, but then when we get in the booth, he's like, that's wrong. Like, see,
Well, no, it's authentic to who I am.
I mean, wrong. Right?
Yeah.
And it's because it's easier to copy what's been done before.
Yeah.
But for now, I've created a system where even the singer writes me a song, I know how I leave this to me.
You're up.
Yes.
That's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. It took you 5 years, but now you know you're at it. And then you got D&D that's coming out next year.
Yeah.
So flip that. People can actually listen to that right now.
Yeah. So that came out last year, and I did a music video.
I love that. I think it's so creative. What were you thinking with the music video?
So there's I'm not. So the song is about. So it starts this way. As a record producer, I was working on this R&B EP, R&B flavor. It's not pure R&B.
Yeah.
It's more modern than that.
Like, I didn't know the word either.
Yeah, yeah. I think playlist. It's like playlist R&B.
Okay, always.
Contemporary.
There you go. Yeah.
So I was working on a song because I already had the song, the classic R&B chords and got it. So I needed something a little different.
Right.
Because I'm still kind of fit on the playlist.
Right. Of
Okay,
course.
so it was almost like this is a playlist EP. So I
Yeah.
want to fit in with the cool kids.
So it's always got to be commercial a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, how do I put a little bit of a twist on it?
Yeah.
So like, what's very romantic, I think, expand your culture, flamenco guitars. very
Yes.
romantic.
So I think that's the catchy part of it.
Exotic.
Yeah.
To me, it's exotic.
Yeah, it is.
I know some people get a little, you're from India, that's exotic. Well, yeah, maybe. But for me, Spaniard music is exotic to me.
And it's excited to me too.
Yeah.
It feels good. It makes me want to be sexy
Yeah.
and dance Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
So then there's kind of like this darker undertone to the guitar. So it kind of gave me this Don Juan kind of feeling. So much. And maybe so the song has to be Don Juan.
Yeah.
Whether or not I'm Don Juan doesn't matter.
Right.
We're going to write a song based on
Okay.
and make it kind of modern.
Okay.
So I think when I come in, it's a very Travis Scott, very modern. Then I bring in my sound. The always be choosing, let go in my car. No, that's my set.
Did you write anything here?
So I didn't write that song. I worked with a guy named Jack Knightley. He did a lot of Bad Boy records.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a lot of those R&B records.
How do you identify and say, yeah, that works for me?
Sometimes you gotta say, sometimes you don't. It really depends on the situation.
Okay. So you knew that little bridge or that little chorus part right there was going to be like that, or you arranged that, or that was prearranged?
Well, what happened was I sent the song I did, right? So you listen to what I did. And, like I told him, this is my sound.
Right.
Try to do something in that ballpark, but maybe
Okay.
by R&B.
Okay.
So what he did, so the trick he did on his end was, okay, for first, and like 8 bars, that we're gonna do 4 bars. It's actually only 4 bars. We're gonna do the Travis Scott sound,
Right.
and then we're gonna incorporate your sound 4 bars after.
Okay.
So that's why I kind of switched up. Now we're kind of like introducing people to like, okay, this is his sound. Like you've heard him do the Travis Scott stuff. Now let's hear
But
this
this
sound.
his sound. Okay. I like that. But that's not to me, because the familiarity is what brings people in, and it becomes like, okay, this is catchy. But then you're like, but there's a new thing that's on it that I really like. And then that's how the introduction of who you are is it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good system to have too. So who would you want to work with who is an R&B artist? Well, I could tell Travis Scott in hip hop, but as R&B, who would you like to work with?
I mean, the funny thing is, I did have a funny story about Travis Scott. I don't know if we can put this out. I'll just tell you.
Okay. Because that's my praying suit, so excited about it.
So, one of my guys in Detroit sent in one of my songs, which was really a Travis Scott very Travis Scott. Like it was really the only artist way to be Travis Scott.
Okay.
But they got words to sound like Travis Scott over there.
Shut the right
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
A&Rs.
This 7 rookie people.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, you got.
Right.
He sounds like the LOL.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
Well, that's a cute compliment, though.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So, like,
You said I'm doing something right.
yeah.
But who would you want to work with who's in R&B?
The Weeknd.
That's a good one. That's a really good one with your sound. Yeah, that would be nice and sexy. The Weeknd, if you're listening, if you're watching, I'm showing glow with that.
Now I gotta get the Deelishis feature, right?
Yes, okay. Woo, woo. I see. Ooh, put a little rum shaker on it. Okay.
So, I heard he sing, well, I was, on a 10th level, it was just like impressive, like the diaphragm. However, you're really able to belt. Like a lot of people can't do that.
Thank you. That's that church voice.
That's the first thing I thought. Right? You must have had some experience there.
Oh, absolutely. Greater Missionary Baptist Church located on Carpenter became over the Reverend Robert Robinson is pastor in Detroit. Yeah, my whole life. So that's what I can't come. So you gotta tell me about your roots in Detroit. We're from the same place. What parts of Detroit?
So I was born in Dearborn.
Okay, you're in Dearborn. I'm familiar.
And then having, my parents, they had a small apartment for 2 years and then moved to suburbs called Farmington Hills. You probably know that.
I live in Farmington.
Oh, yeah, I know later. So, yeah, I spent my first 12 years there.
In Farmington?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then parents, they separated and then I moved to Bloomfield Hills.
And I ended up in Bloomfield Hills.
Yeah, now I'm still in Bloomfield.
You are? Okay. I was at 15 in Drake. So I was at West Bloomfield. You were a little bit further out. You spent away 1 month. So do you like it?
Yeah, I liked it, but, people there's really, they stay to themselves.
Yeah.
It's not really
Right.
community.
I can see that for Bloomfield Hills. Do you ever actually go into the city?
Yeah, sometimes.
Right.
Someone invites me, but not a whole lot.
The city is like blossoming up. No, it is. It's like really doing this thing, especially downtown. I'm really, really proud of it. So when is the next time you're going to perform and we can actually see you, we can come and be a part?
I know I definitely want to do a D&D immersive event.
Okay.
Like, I did a event in Atlanta and you were there, but I also,
So do you typically do a visual for each of your projects or your songs?
uh, yeah, most of the time I do, but Billy, I've had to feel like there's legs to stand on. Especially now that I'm directing all videos, like,
You're the director.
yes, I direct. Thought that was first when I officially directed.
Okay. So you have that in you, or you just wanted to try it?
No, I've always had it in you. Like, as I said, as a kid, I wanted to create theme parks. I wanted to make movies. I want to make stories. So I wanted to be a director when I was a kid.
Okay.
But also, music was also one of my art forms I was exploring. Yeah, I really see myself as a storyteller
Yeah.
who uses multiple art forms to tell
Express-
story, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm kind of using music right now as like this is like the hub, this is the home, this is where it all stems from here. But like on my music video, I kind of use it like as an excuse to make us like my own main movie, own like universe, so to speak.
Most artists are created that way, though. It's like we have something else that's in our head, and if we have the talent to be able to perform it, it's like now you get to be expressive about it. That's like really, really dope. So, other than your theme park, if you weren't doing music, what would you be doing?
I'd definitely be directing movies.
Okay.
Directing in some capacity, and if I wasn't directing or music, and there's so many things, but my other passion in life is science.
Nice.
So those are like my two loves in life, science and the arts.
So you were a sexy nerd.
Yeah, yeah, you can say it.
That's pretty flat. I know you're well traveled. Where's the most like exotic or the most entertaining place you've ever been?
I would like to travel more. Actually, I'm trying to think of what is the most interesting place. Probably, I really haven't been around as much as I would like.
Yeah.
Obviously I've been to India.
Yeah. Did I see you in London for Fashion Week?
I wasn't.
How did you like that?
I wish I had more opportunity to explore London.
Same. I was there for a brief period, maybe even 48 hours, and I wish I had more time to actually experience the place.
But it's really quite a lot of South Asians in London. I think it's really interesting to see like how well integrated they are.
It's a different place. When you come back here and you think about it, it's
Yeah, I've been in the fan. It was a long way to go here.
right. Yes, that's what it made it feel like. Like when we're like, geez, we got this a long way to go. Hey, it's your girl London Deelishis Charles, and we are here over at Mind Over Matter. I am with the man himself. This is the lead detective. Ashwin, what would you really call yourself?
Well, you call me Ashwin Gane, but I'm also a world builder and storyteller. That's what I would call myself.
That's exactly what I would call you too. This has been an explosive interview, and I guess we're just gonna dive right in it. Sarah. Hey, Ashwin.
Oh, you hear me with that?
He's so adorable.
So I just wanted to thank you for coming on to my episode of Mind Over Matter.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And as a gift, I had this t-shirt for
Yeah, I've been asking about the gear. So I'm gonna wear this to the gym tomorrow. What up, Dad? Thank you. I appreciate you having me. This felt like I was game reviewing you. I had so many questions ever since the first time I met you. So I appreciate you allowing me to get more of an insight. We're gonna definitely have to dive in deeper and do a part 2. Can I come back?
it'll be a part 2, part 3, part 4. You never know how long it can go.
Okay, y'all get that right. So you will see.
What is your favorite animal and why?
Yeah, no, where do I see that? That's a good question. What is my favorite animal and why? Probably a dog. Why? Because I'm a woman and they say it's man's best friend. I don't know. Probably because I wouldn't really get close to the other animals. I don't think I'm squeamish, but if it was in make believe, I would be cool with a lion. In real life, probably not. But I'd probably be cool with a dog and that's about it. And you?
I mean, it doesn't have to be like you don't have to be
Ferocious.
I mean, this is like an animal you like, admire.
I like animals. I like them, but I mean, if I just had to pick one, maybe a lion. I think lions are strong and kind of fearless. They could be sexy and alluring, and they're cats. So, yeah,
Oh, yeah, well, I swear.
a lot of swag. Yeah. Plus, I have a lion on my I have a tattoo of a lion on me. So yeah, I think I like lions. And you?
You know, I have a long laundry list of animals I like, but me, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh my face, okay. Tyrannosaurus Rex, why? It's school. I don't know much of you. I know that's a dinosaur, obviously. So what is so significant?
Well, it's probably the most powerful land predator of all time.
Okay, that's a good reason in itself. It's the most powerful. You like power?
I do like power.
You do.
Yeah,
Okay. And you'll be a politician?
if I have to be.
Okay. I know you were saying that you want to reach the people. Or you like to, be expressive for the people. So I wondered if you were into that kind of stuff.
I am, I do keep up with politics and I do study it, but to be a politician, you have to play dirty games. So I say I would only get into politics if
You had to.
I feel like I'm needed.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds grandiose to say that, but
Right.
let's say I think there's something wrong going on, and maybe I'll feel oppressed. I'm at that point where I can one. Maybe I will,
Okay.
but I would just do it. Do it.
It would be a thing. Okay, so we're gonna do a speed round of 5, okay? So this is pretty simple. It's just to get to know you, and these are not too intrusive. Maybe 1 or 2.
You gotta have one or two.
All right, cool. Do you like it hot or cold?
Okay, in what way?
Okay.
Hot.
That works. You like it thick or thin?
Oh, okay. I mean, what does it like mean, right? Like, how do you define that?
I mean,
But if I had to lean, I'll go with that.
okay.
Top there.
Quick. Boxers or briefs?
Boxers.
Oh, that's a good answer. Okay. Young or old?
Old.
Oh, that was another thing here. You like them thick? You like them old? You like, okay, yes, that's what I'm talking about. And you like them hot. Okay, so what are we down to? Our 5th one?
Yeah, we're on number 5.
Okay, blonde or brunette?
Brunette.
Yeah!
Spoke no?
See, that was stay with.
Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to thank you for coming out to my episode of Mind Over Matter.
Thank
You're
you for having me.
Of course. And as a gift, I had this t-shirt for you.
Yeah, I've been asking about the gear. So I gotta register to the gym tomorrow. What up, Dub? Thank you. I appreciate you having me. This felt like I was interviewing. I had so many questions ever since the first time I met you. So I appreciate you allowing me to get more of an insight. We're gonna definitely have to dive in deeper and do a part 2. Can I come back?
I think it'd be a part 2, part 3, part 4. You never know how long it can go.
Okay, y'all heard that, right? So you will see me back over here with my guy Ashton, Detective Game. Mind Over Matter. Thank you. Over and out.